Hello, hello, hello. My name is Stacy. Welcome to my channel, Simply Liminal. Welcome to May, May 1st. May always feels beautifully abundant. Where I'm from, it is when we really see spring. Birds are here that aren't here all winter. Things are starting to blossom. The grass is greening up. I mean, for the last 3 days, I've seen the first dandelions, and that is a beautiful thing. So, that is the end of April, and we are now moving into May, and it is beautiful. So, for these messages, for these monthly messages, I'm looking at a 3 card reading where we will look at messages from overall spirit coming to us, and they will be messages for our mind, for our body, and for our overall spirit, because I do want to distinguish between spirit, which is everything created in the universe, maybe even in the multiverse, trickling down to our individual spirits, which some people call soul. Everyone has a different name or terminology for things, but so look at it as a message from everything messaging your individual spirit. Great spirit to your individual spirit. So we are using the Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron Reid. I used this deck for last year's readings too. I love this deck. If Colette's decks are all wonderful. If you're interested in looking into her Oracle decks, I suggest taking a look at this one. Spirit animals are very interesting. We all have them in our lives. If you don't think you have a spirit animal, you're not paying attention. And you don't have to have just one spirit animal. You can have an overall spirit animal, or you can have multiple ones. But sometimes spirit animals come into our lives only for a moment or a week, to tell us something, to teach us something, to help us learn something about ourselves, or learn something about others, or learn something about a situation or the environment that you're in. So we will look at messages, like I said, for mind, body, and spirit. And I hope you enjoy them. I hope you have enjoyed these readings, and I hope you enjoy this deck. This is a big deck. I love to slide shuffle decks, but because I am one of those people that tends to really bend my decks. These cards are pretty sturdy. I haven't bent them yet, but I have so many playing card decks that are just curled and curved, either for solitaire or my cartomancy decks, which are pretty ragged. Anyways, so let's take a look at what our message is from mind, body, and spirit. I'm going to split the deck in half, and we're just going to lay it out. Here is our message for our mind, here is our message for our body, and here is a message for our spirit from the overall spirit. And I will read these cards intuitively, but I also want to look at the messages that Colette has in the guidebook, because I think it's so important to hear what she channeled through when she was creating this deck. So the overall message for spirit, and I apologize for my gravelly voice, and I'm a little congested. I've been cold. I have had a cold. I tried to tell myself for a while it was just allergies, but it's not. And I'm getting over it, but my voice is coming and going, so I apologize. In my Beltane reading, if you are interested in looking at that, I get to kind of talk about how I feel like every time I'm channeling through one of these readings, I've had a cold, I'm just getting over something, or I'm just getting something, and how I do think that's tied to all the energetic changes that we're going through in our planet, or in our lives on this planet, in our universe, because these are coming at certain gateways that are important. And so I think that that's shifting things, and I think that everybody is affected in a different system depending on where they maybe need the most work or where their greatest gifts are. I tend to have throat issues and congestion issues. So kind of my third eye and my throat chakra either need work or that's my greatest gift. And it's actually both things, which is not unusual, because where your greatest gifts lie is where the work needs to be done, for many reasons that we're not going to get into in this video. So let's look at what our spirit's message is, what overall spirit's message is for our mind. We have Sandpiper. spirit, and this message is be playful. So it's kind of fun that this is May 1st because May is a very fun month. It's also ushering in the Beltane holiday or season, and it is playful. It's about having fun, having a good time, having a barbecue or a bonfire with your friends. And so Sandpiper Spirit, which this card is fun. It came up last year's reading. It came up in one of our readings already this year. And so I just want to read a little bit about what the message says. But the overall meaning here for you in your mind is to be playful. And so I'm going to tell you, I think that means don't take things too serious, don't overthink things, and don't work too hard. So the oracle message here is, sandpipers are like cute little clowns poking their beaks into the sand before darting off to chase the waves. The appearance of Sandpiper Spirit is a sign that now is the time to engage in your playfulness. Whatever tasks you have before you, to perform them with a lightness of being. You know, hey, if you got to do dishes, put some music on and enjoy the process. When I was cleaning house, I used to listen to Ricky Fante, and I miss that CD. That was still, before you streamed a lot of music, but check him out, Ricky Fante. He's got great music. Anyway, that just brought memories back. Explore the familiar, discovering the new in the old. Who knows what treasures await you when you let yourself laugh and have fun? So there you go. That is your message for your mind. Have fun. Don't take things too serious. So let's look at what our overall spirit's message is for our body this month. We have spider spirit. It's interesting. I have seen spiders in the last couple days, multiple spiders. So I know that's messages coming through. And spiders sometimes are associated with shadow work, which I think we all need to do. They're associated with darker places, but I mean, some of these spiders are crawling out in the bright sunshine in the grass. So don't be afraid of spiders. Know that when these messages come to you, there is something you need to create. There is something you need to weave together. So the message on the card is, I'm trying to zoom in so you can see it, make your dreams real. So spiders create the most beautiful and elaborate webs. I mean, sometimes it's just shocking how much work they've done and how quickly a spider can really produce something. And so this is a message for our body. And the oracle message in the card says, weaving your dreams into the fabric of life begins with a single thread of intention. Then spirit joins you as your co-weaving partner. Take but a single step to make your dreams a reality, and spirit will take 10 towards you. For the universe is designed to support your dream weaving. So this, while being a message for our body is very physical, grounded. It is our physical self. So whatever dreams you're thinking about are connected to that. Is it making your house better? Is it making your wardrobe better? Is it taking into account what your yard looks like? It could be something completely different, but make your dreams real by taking just one step to start with, and then take another step, because the message here is spirit wants you to prevail. And not only does it want to help you, it will do 10 times the work if you only take the first step. So remember that this May. Remember, put an effort in, and spirit will be there to help you make everything flourish. Now, let's look at our overall spirit from the great spirit or the universe to our individual spirit or soul. White Raven Spirit. Trust in the magic. This card has also popped up a couple times this spring, and this is a beautiful card. I also love the 66 number up there. Sixes are beautiful numbers. 6 in the tarot is associated with the lovers, companionship, partnership. 66 is added together, or 6 and 6 is 12 numerologically. 12 then comes down to 3. 3 is a number of magic. I associate with that greatly. White Raven Spirit. So white ravens are very mystical. I've never seen one in real life. I have seen some ravens, but we don't have a lot of them around here. I've never even seen a picture, not that I've gone looking for pictures of white ravens, albino ravens. Do they exist? It kind of makes me think of Game of Thrones, like George R.R. Martin. Are you ever going to finish the next book? It's painful. It's painful to me. Sorry, I'm throwing some real world problems out. Not real world problems. Real world problems are like Europe being out of power and all the earthquakes that are happening all over the world and all the people that are affected so sadly by that. Those are real world problems, not George R.R. Martin finishing a novel. But I still wish he would finish it. If you're listening, finish the book, George. Finish the book. So the message here from White Raven Spirit is trust in the magic. Nothing in the universe is random, for the intricate web of co-creation weaves together all events and has done so since the beginning of time. Coincidences have meaning, and White Raven Spirit appears to remind you to pay attention to those synchronicities so that you might recognize patterns. Even the winds dance in a pattern, participating in the magic of Spirit's plan for all of us. In my reading for Beltane, I was just kind of not really complaining about wind as an element or air as an element because it's so changeable, but it really is. But this is a good message to me that what seems like heavy-cavey wind patterns are winds dancing. And that is a beautiful way to look at what the element of air is creating and what the message of spirit is trying to tell our spirit. Even the winds dance in a pattern, participating in the magic of spirit's plan for all. So, a good message for me, or a learning point for me, and maybe for everybody else, even if you think it's so changeable it doesn't make sense, spirit and the universe does have a plan, and you are a part of it, and you need to just trust in the magic. That is what the card is saying, and that is really what we need to do. Even when it doesn't feel so magical, even when it feels a little scary or a little dark or a little frightening or a little chaotic, like our whole world feels like it's in chaos right now, which I feel like I'm channeling a little bit into my reading, and so I apologize, but I have just decided I am going to be me in these readings from now on. I'm not going to try to be all PC, really. Be kind, though. And I'm not going to try to act like I'm not a half-raving lunatic sometimes. So, I mean, that's how I sometimes act. You know, I have a million ideas that want to come out of my mouth at the same time, and sometimes it's just gobbledygook, you know? So, this is me. This is me unapologetically with a cold and kind of a hoarse voice. But anyway, so the message here for our mind is be playful. And the message for our body is make your dreams real. And it was telling us just to take a step. Take a step forward with intention, and spirit will take 10 steps toward you, also with intention, to make what you want to manifest be. And our message from spirit for our spirit is to trust in the magic. And so I want to make this video not as long as sometimes they go. I'm going to wrap things up now by saying thank you so much for attending my reading, for looking at this May message. I am excited about the month of May, but I also just want to say I don't know what's in store for us this month, but I have a feeling the energy is going to be intense and swirly and a little chaotic, and we just need to trust. And don't forget to be playful and take a step forward on manifesting your dreams. Have a beautiful month of May. I will see you next month in June. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. Again, my name is Stacy. Have a wonderful, wonderful month of May.